Welcome back to the channel. In the last video you guys saw the Century get completed. Today is Saturday and my friend Bode Vision, I don't know if you guys have heard of his channel before, but he is putting together a Cars and Coffee event not too far from me, and I thought what better way or what better car to take than the Century, since she's just now complete. This thing, I washed it yesterday after work and just parked it in here, cleaned it up, and looking at this thing, just walking up to it, it is so clean, like showroom condition quality build here. And I like just walked in and saw it and I was like, this looks like it should be in a museum or something. I legitimately can't stop staring at it. After the Cars and Coffee, I got another little something that I'm doing, which I don't know if I'll film a ton of, but I'll get some phone clips here and there. But yeah, let's head out to this Cars and Coffee, see what it's all about. That was fun. Bodie's first time doing a Cars and Coffee, and it was a pretty good turnout. There was a good 25-30 cars there. It's really local, which is nice, so I'll probably continue to go to them if I have the time. But now I'm heading to a certain tattoo studio, and it's funny because I actually found her on TikTok. I'm sure some of you guys might have seen her stuff on TikTok before. I'll overlay a couple of her TikToks on the screen, but I've been trying to get tattooed by her for a while now, and I missed the last two appointments because of events and stuff. So I'm dedicated, I'm going today. Let's get over there. I'm not sure how much I'll film. I'll probably get a couple phone clips, but it's gonna be a cool tattoo. I'm excited. All done. Looks so cool. Not as cool as the studio though. The studio is fucking so cool. Just like that. Another cool tattoo to add to the collection here. It says homesick. Not sure if you guys can read it on the camera, but it's because I travel a lot, do a lot of travel work and things like that. Anyway, I have no idea what this video is going to turn into at this point. I got a part that I got for the Century that I want to try and put on. A couple little store updates I wanted to fill you guys in on. First of all, these vintage tees. You guys absolutely loved these and you sold them out pretty quickly. I am putting together a pre-order for this upcoming Friday, the 23rd at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That pre-order is going to go for a week and it's going to be on these vintage tees. So if you guys are interested or if you missed out when I had the drop, you'll be able to get one. I know there was quite a few people that missed out on the drop and I wanted to give you guys the opportunity to get one. Second of all, you guys know these, right? These are my waving air fresheners. I've had them for a while now, and for the next 2 months I'm going to be including a random one out of 3 of these designs in every single order for free. Doesn't matter how much you pay. You place an order on the website, you get a waving air freshener for free, and they are super cool. All of them are black ice scented. They're a really cool interior piece for the inside of your car. I love getting tagged in all of the posts of everyone rocking these all across the world. It's pretty crazy to see. And then these guys, I just got these made. These are little cartoon versions of the Century and the NSX, and they were made by Garage Oshi. These are really, really cool, and they are also available on the website now, and I fucking love these. I'm gonna be sticking them on everything. So you could buy just one of these and get a waving air freshener for free. Lastly, in the next couple weeks, I'm gonna be having my license plate frames back in stock. I'll put a picture of them on the screen of what they looked like. You guys loved them when I dropped them almost 2 years ago. It's been a while since I've had them, but they're coming back to the site. Again, any dollar amount you place an order for on the website will come with a free waving air freshener, one of those 3 designs. This year, I'm kind of shifting my priorities with my content and my filming and stuff, and I'm really trying to buy my first house. So I'm trying to just save up and stock away as much money as I can and just save. So any support's appreciated. It's always never mandatory, but it's always appreciated. So yeah, pre-order, stickers, free air fresheners, all that stuff. I won't bother you guys too much about it. I drove the Century this morning to go grab some food, grab some coffee, and that car is just so perfect. I love it. Let's go grab the Century. Let's bring it into our shop and see if we can't figure out if this little thing will fix our problem. Now this little mod that I'm about to try out and see if it works is more so for people that ride low on coilovers, static, like my LS400. But it has applications for this too, and basically all I'm trying to get out of it is to lower the front end of this car a little bit more. When I pulled this car out for the first time and filmed the reveal video, the only thing that really bothered me, and it was super minor, was the front end was just slightly too high, and from a side profile this car it showed a little bit of rake. I'll put a picture over the screen what I'm trying to describe. The front end was too high, the rear was a little bit lower, and you could kind of see the entire car kind of raking a little bit. I don't like that. I want the car to be low, I want the car to be level, I want it to look as perfect as I can get it, and that's where this little product might help us or might not do anything at all. What I have here is Megan Racing's roll center adjusters. Basically what these do is there is a mounting point at the bottom of the knuckle where the knuckle bolts to the lower control arm. And when you lower a car on coilovers, let's say, and you drop the car down, your entire suspension is gonna go up. That means your lowers, your uppers, your tie rods, all of them are gonna be at an extreme angle, especially for the guys that are at a ridiculously low static height. And it makes the car drive super wonky all over the road, and it's not safe. These roll center adjusters will not only lower your car another 30 millimeters, but they will also bring the geometry of the suspension back up closer to where it should be, which will improve the ride of your car if it's slammed on the ground all the time. And it also will potentially lower it. Got a jack stand under the subframe and the jack supporting it just in case. It's really cool that the side skirts don't get in the way at all from jacking up from the side, which also tells you that this thing is not kit low, and that's pretty cool. For all you LS400 guys out there, all of this stuff should look pretty dang familiar. That's because it is. It is identical. The knuckles, the uppers, the lowers, the rotors, the calipers, heat shields, everything is identical to a LS400. It's really hard to show because I'm not jacked up enough, but there are 2 bolts that basically hold this lower on and bolt to the knuckle. And by removing those 2 bolts, you will separate the knuckle from the lower control arm. 2 bolts, pop it off, slip it on, easy enough. Let's try it. These also don't have a left or a right. They're identical, so no need to check for that. I'm gonna guess that these are 17s. That's an 18, Michael. That's why it's loose. Slap this bad boy on here. Let me see if I can't get an ugga-dugga on this. Trust me, you can use a 1/2-inch breaker bar. It's just, I'm a little lazy today. It's the weekend. I'd like to get these off. 1. need an extension. And that is 2. So now your knuckle will effectively just come off from the bottom. And there she blows. All right, let me get you guys. Now, this could be all for something or nothing. There are your mounting points right there. I have the knuckle separated from them. Basically, the spacer will sit in between there. Knuckle goes back on top, and then you tighten it all up with the new bolts. Easy enough. That's why I felt like doing this. If I knew for a fact that it wasn't gonna work, then I wouldn't try it, but because it took me 10 minutes, I might as well give it a shot. All right, just like that, she's all in there, installed, nice and tight. So let's pop the wheel back on, air this thing down, and see if it did anything. Oh well. The beautiful thing about these being the factory wheels and not like an aftermarket set of wheels, get to use the stock lug nuts, don't have to worry about clearancing or anything like that. Everything just kind of fits, which is beautiful. Oh, I also forgot I took air out of the bag. That probably, yeah, that's why. Mike. Michael, a little bit of a dodo today, huh? Nothing.
Those are amazing.
Well, it was worth a shot. Anyways, fitment's still the same as before. I want like 30 millimeters would be perfect. If I could get this thing to sit 30 mil more low, that is like exactly what I'm looking for. So I'll just have to get the knuckles shortened 30 mil. And then when I run the Megan RCAs, that will fix things. I could also lower the air suspension, you know, the bag itself at that point too. But having the steering correction is nice to have on there. So I'm glad I gave it a shot. But y'all are gonna just have to tune in the future when I can get these things shortened and we can actually get the front end to sit at the perfect height. So you guys might be wondering why I am sitting in the Century, and that's because of the latest development that I found out about this car, and that is the previous history of this vehicle. And I felt like it would be fitting for us to do a little bit of research together and discover this stuff for ourselves, because these cars have quite a huge history in Japan, being, you know, the car that the royal family gets driven around in. Any major government official, if they opted for one, this was the car that they were driven around in. Really anyone very important in Japan. And I found out some new stuff that is pretty interesting about the history of this car that I figured that I would share with you guys. Let me get this laptop going, figure out how to screen record again. I just realized that y'all can see. Can y'all see the hole in my sock? It's getting real holy in here. All right, so with these cars being as important as they are in Japan, the rest of the world really doesn't know much about them, and they're only recently becoming popular because they've just become legal to import. And when I imported mine, I opted to have a history pulled on the car, and I paid for it back in like November of 2022. Didn't hear much back from them, and I just recently got the paperwork sent back to me, and it had some cool stuff on it, so I figured I would share it with you guys. Let's pull it up on the computer now, starting my recording now. All right, they sent me some paperwork here, and this is the registration record for this car. And right here you can see registration date 1997, May 26th. And the name of the owner was Shorokushinto Yamatoyama. I don't know if I just butchered the hell out of that or if I'm anywhere near close, but that is the name of the owner, or the first owner of this car. And it looks like they had it all the way until I bought it, which is pretty crazy to think, because It shows here the registration was transferred in May 30th of 2022, and then it was deregistered May 30th for the auctions. So it looks like this was a one-owner car, which is pretty insane to think about. So let's go back up to Shoroku Shinto Yamatoyama, and let's figure out who this is. A lot of people associate this car with like the mafia and yakuza and stuff like that, and while they were probably used in some circumstances, the yakuza preferred more under the radar vehicles. I imagine this car being as important as it was in Japan, this probably wouldn't have been a good choice for them. I imagine some of them used it, but not a lot of them. Alright, so let's paste this into Google and see what pops up. Okay, so it wants me to show results for something else, but I'm going to search instead for... Wow, okay, so there's like just one thing. Alright, so let's click on this. Interesting. Alright, let me translate this to English and see what we're working with here. Guide to the Sacred Place, 4 Seasons in the Holy Land. I don't know if this is just a coincidence, but at the top left of the website it says Today Divine World, so that's kind of a cool coincidence. But it looks like this is a sacred place in Japan, or a holy land. Right here it reads, the headquarters of Shoroku Shinto Yamatoyama is located in the mountains about 12 kilometers from the Kominato station on the Aomori Railway. It is embraced by flowers in spring, green in summer, autumn leaves in autumn, and snow in winter. In beautiful nature, it is called Kamigaki no Sato. It's about 4 by 5 kilometers in size, occupies about 10% of Hiranai town, probably butchering all of this, where the religious headquarters is located. Religious headquarters. Okay, so seeing as this is the only thing that popped up with that name, it looks like Shoroku Shinto Yamatoyama is a religious headquarters. The area was heavily cut down around 1965. In 1969, Mount Yamato acquired it as a precinct, promoted the afforestation and forest maintenance project, and became a lush mountain as it is today. Ooh, there's a map. So this is like a park guide for this religious headquarters. I wish I could translate all of these things that it's showing up here. I was not expecting this for what this car was being used for. I imagine the owners of this park were most likely chauffeured around in this car, or it was used as a car to just transport some of the employees at this park. But going through the website, there is just a ton of different shrines that it looks like you can just go and visit and pay your respects to, which is kind of cool. And I keep seeing the word divine in here. I know it's also used as a religious term, but it's just a funny coincidence. This would be some place to visit for sure. I wonder if it'd be cool to, if I'd be able to like get a hold of them or reach out to them and see if it's possible to have them give me a little bit of history on this car, like what exactly it was used for at the park. Yeah, it looks like this thing was owned by this religious headquarters, Shoroku Shinto Yamatoyama, and I don't know if I know there's some Japanese viewers that watch my channel. I don't know if you guys can give me some more information about this place, what exactly it's used for. A lot to go through on this website and a lot of history, because this is really cool. Let me see if there is a location. Let's view it in a larger map. This into here. Whoa. Okay. Wow, you can see the place. Yeah, so it literally, it's like a compound, but like a religious compound, religious headquarters. This is really cool. Oh god, I almost just destroyed the interior of this car. Wow, okay, so you can see the giant headquarter right there. Let's go to the park map. Yeah, so that's this facility right here. And it's like remote. It's in the middle of the mountains, right by Sotodoji. This road looks so fun to drive. Oh, oh man. If I ever make it out to this place, this is gonna be a sick experience to be able to go and visit and see everything. So obviously this is the main part of the video. While you guys tuned in, you wanted to see the previous history of this car. It's cool because it was owned by one person its whole life before me. The fact that it was owned by such like a prominent facility is very cool. I wish that I could say that this thing was owned by, you know, one of the most famous mob bosses over in Japan, one of the most famous Yakuza, but it doesn't look like it. Still though, this car is absolutely amazing. And for this car to be owned by one person or one company its entire life before coming to me, that's pretty amazing. And they took such good care of it. The fact that there's still plastic in here covering some of the interior bits from factory, like this car was solely used to, it had to have been solely used to just drive someone in this facility around. Probably only in the facility too. It probably didn't leave this area very much, which explains the low kilometers on the car. Well, thank you guys for tuning into my little talking session here. I figured it would be cool to kind of discover this for both of us at the same time while lounging in this thing. This car is definitely quite the character, and I am extremely grateful to have such a nice example of one. So I definitely need at some point in my life to take a trip out there and be able to witness this Shoroku Shinto Yamatoyama facility for myself. Like I said, if any of you know how to get in contact with them or have any information about them, that would be incredible. You can DM me, you can comment on YouTube, you can DM me on Instagram. I'm always checking, I'm always reading all the comments, but this is cool. Okay, I'm probably gonna close the video out here. That was really cool to just kind of learn the history of this thing, and even though the history was short on this car, only being one owner, it's cool that it was involved in that cool of a company. I absolutely love this car to death. I wish that I could drive it every single day of the week. What you can expect next for this thing would be a exhaust setup, because this car needs one now that I have a body kit on it that has spaces for a nice exhaust setup. Fog lights, I still need to get the Junction Produce fog lights that fit the front bumper. And then I'm most likely going to PPF the entire front end of this car just to protect it over time. This car is in immaculate shape, so I just want to kind of keep it that way. And hopefully once it is PPF'd, it'll give me more of a reason to want to drive it all the time, because right now I take it out like once or twice every other week or so, like very little. And I want to drive this thing as much as I can and just enjoy it. Thank you guys for watching this video. Like I said in the beginning, these vintage tees will be available for pre-order on Friday the 23rd at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and you can find the link in the description of this video. Don't forget as well, every single order gets you a free waving air freshener. And be sure to check out the little cartoon stickers that I just had made of this thing and the NSX as well. I know this was more of a chill video, but at least I could cover a cool, interesting topic, kind of digging up the history of this car. And I'm very excited to hopefully be able to chat with the facility itself and figure out a little bit more history as to exactly what this car was used for when it was there. But for now, she's going back in storage. She looks beautiful. I'm gonna go up north for a few days over the next week or two and just hang out with family, hang out with friends. And when I get back, hopefully we can dive into some Supra stuff, some Century stuff. But like I said, I'm shifting my priorities a little bit this year and trying to save up for my first house. So if there's a little bit of a lack in video content, I apologize, at least you guys know why. Modifying cars is expensive, and to make a video I got to spend money on parts and all this stuff, so hope you guys understand. But thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.